What's up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, you and I are going to be talking about exactly how I made about $10,000 last month as a direct result of my blog. More specifically, how I did that without doing some big crazy product launch. So in other words, this was passive slash semi-passive income. Now, a lot goes into building a blog up to this point, and there are just so many little details that this could be like this 20-hour video, but I don't want to put you through that. I'm just going to focus on three really important things in today's video, which is content strategy and traffic, my monetization methods I used, and the tools and technology I've used to build my blog up to this point, and just things that were super key to me having that $10,000 month last month. We're gonna go ahead and get started, but before we do, if you've been around here, you know the drill. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video because it really helps my channel out, and subscribe if you want to see more videos about how to make money blogging because I kind of do a lot of those around here. Let's go ahead and get started. So there's one thing I've just got to say before I talk about anything else at all, and that is that there is no magic bullet or one weird trick to making $10,000 a month blogging. Frankly, anybody who tells you that there is just totally full of shit. And I'm not going to be that person. I'm not that asshole who's going to sit here and tell you you can get crazy results overnight and there's like this magic solution to all of your blogging problems, because that's just not true. But what I will say is that there is a clear approach to content marketing, content strategy, and blogging in general that can help you get results faster than if you don't go into it with that clear strategy. Just for reference, I grew my blog what I would consider to be quickly, and when I say that, I mean I grew it to what I would consider to be a full-time income within less than a year of actively promoting my blog and building my email list. So you can get those kinds of results if you are willing to put in the work. Alright, so now that I've officially talked your ear off before even getting to the first point, let's go ahead and talk about the first point, which is content strategy and traffic. The first thing you need to know about building a content strategy is that you need to actually give a shit about your readers and actually be in tune with their goals, their struggles, their motivations, all these different kinds of things, not only because that's going to be good for your readers and allow you to create beneficial content for them, but it's also going to help you. It's going to create this win-win situation where they get amazing content, and since you've created amazing content, you are going to get loyal readers and email subscribers instead of people who are just kind of that one and done situation where they might read through one of your blog posts but then they leave and never come back. You don't want that. You want to genuinely care about your readers and create content that reflects that so you can be helpful and keep them coming back to your website for more information. Another thing you want to think about with your content strategy is that you want to be teaching X type of person about X thing that they really want to learn about. Now, when I say teaching, I get a lot of people who say, oh, but I don't want to teach blogging or business. What am I supposed to do? But you can teach so many different things. You can teach how to cook vegan food. You can teach men's fashion. You can teach stoicism, which I've literally seen a successful blog about stoicism, and I just thought that was so cool. So the point here is don't feel like you have to be in a business niche to be successful. That is absolutely not the case. Now, what about specific ways to get blog post topic inspiration and build out your content strategy? Well, I'll show you one specific method that I used a whole lot when I first started my blog, and this was back when I really didn't have like a huge audience to directly get blog post ideas from. It's when I had to do a little bit more digging and a little bit more research online to get topic inspiration. So let me share my screen with you real quick and I will show you what I'm talking about. It is Reddit. So if you're familiar with Reddit, you probably already know the deal here, and you can find a subreddit, which is kind of like a little question and answer forum a lot of the time for whatever your niche topic is. So for example, if you have a blog about female hair advice and you teach people how to style their hair, how to dye their hair, all that kind of stuff, this is where you could go. And I found this just doing like a quick Google search. I think I searched for like female hair advice Reddit or something like that, and then it popped up. So something like this is really easy to find. Just Google Reddit and then keywords related to your blog niche. So you can see here that there are a whole lot of questions, and this can be great inspiration for your blog post topics. So for example, here we have, I have cool undertones. What tone of black would work for me? Well, if you're like me and a little bit obsessed with hair color and all that kind of stuff, stuff, you know this is a really important question, because if you do not match your hair dye to your undertone, you're gonna end up looking kind of weird. So this is something that you could create a blog post about. The right shade of black hair dye for different skin tones. You could then create a chart for it or something like that. Just a really useful piece of content based on these questions in this subreddit. So let's keep looking. We could find more inspiration here. So natural hair tips and care, that would be a good one to write a blog post about. And what else do we have? Does my face shape suit a bob cut? You could do a really informative blog post on that, and the right haircuts for different face shapes. That's something I know a lot of people want to learn about when they're going to get their haircut, and just so on. You can see there's tons and tons of question and topic inspiration here, but basically the whole point of using Reddit to look for topics is you look at what your audience's problems are and how you can solve those problems. You look at what their questions are, and you figure out how to answer them in the form of a super in-depth blog post. Now keep in mind, this is just kind of a surface level overview. You definitely want to know exactly who your target reader is, more so than just people looking for hair tips. Are you catering to men? Are you catering to people with short hair? Are you catering to people with skin that has cool undertones? Really get clear on your target audience and get specific when you are searching for topics for them this way, because you want to have a really good idea of how your blog post topics are going to tie into your audience specifically, and also tie into your business goals. That is super, super important, and something you definitely want to do, because if you spend a lot of time blogging and your blog posts build the audience that's not a good fit for the product or service you eventually offer, you're gonna have a really hard time selling that product or service. So I think I've used this example before, but I'll go ahead and use it again. If you are planning to create an advanced guitar playing course, don't spend 6 months writing blog posts that attract beginner guitar players or piano players or other types of people. Maximize your time and create blog posts that are going to attract those advanced guitar players. That way, when you go to launch your product, or even if you launch a guitar lesson service or something like that, you have already built an audience of the perfect fit for your monetization method. And another important thing, you've got to make sure you are building your email list, because you don't want traffic that just comes to your site, leaves, and never comes back. You want to build an audience of people who really love your content, keep coming back to it, and people you can stay in touch with via email. Now, one really great way to do that is add lead magnets to your blog website and to your blog posts. So I'm going to take you over here and show you an example of what a lead magnet is. And I'll show you in this blog post that I have on my site, which is all about how to pick a highly profitable freelance writing niche. And you can see right here I have my lead magnet advertised. It's a free guide with 10 profitable writing niches. So basically a lead magnet, if you're not familiar with it, it just means a free download you give someone in exchange for their email address. Creates a mutually beneficial situation. They get an awesome piece of content, you get a new email subscriber. It is that win-win. But anyway, let's keep scrolling. You can see I've got some graphics, all kinds of other stuff in here. Now this is how I advertise my lead magnet. You can see I have a little kind of ad looking thing for it. It says free guide, the freelance writing niches and how to break into them fast. And if someone clicks there, they get taken to this landing page that has a big ass picture of my face on it, and then they can get the free guide by entering their first name and their email address. So that allows me to create something super helpful for my audience and also build my email list. That way when I go to launch a product or a service or whatever, then I have an email list of people who are likely to be interested in it. So now that we've talked about kind of how to create content, blog post topics, all that kind of stuff, let's talk a little bit about traffic. I do have to say that different things work better for different people, different industries, different niches, different audiences. At the end of the day, I can tell you what has worked well for me and things that work pretty universally well in tons and tons of different niches, but it's still gonna be up to you to figure out what works best for your blog. Now for me, Pinterest and SEO have been two really amazing sources of traffic to my blog, and I will show you what I use for SEO. It is called the Yoast SEO plugin. So let me zoom in a little bit and you can see what it looks like right here. And this is just from the Yoast SEO plugin website off of WordPress. So if you have a WordPress blog, you can use this and it really walks you through optimizing your blog posts for SEO. Super easy to use, just a great tool. It's kind of an essential if you're planning on optimizing your blog posts for SEO, which you definitely should be. And you can see it just walks you through putting in your focus keyword, and it has all of the analysis down here, so you can change your content around until it kind of hits all those requirements. Now, like I said, Pinterest has also been another amazing source of traffic for me. I will show you my profile right here. You can see it has what I do and a little bit about my audience up here. I have my main board for my blog, and then other than these few boards, which are just for like branding purposes, you can see that everything has to do with my audience and giving them content that's going to be helpful for them. So all these boards have to do with creative entrepreneurship, blogging, writing, being a digital nomad, starting a business from home. So I'm consistently sharing content that is specifically relevant to my target audience. And let me tell you, doing this has really helped my blog traffic grow so much. But like I said, you gotta put in the time and do the research to figure out what's gonna work well for you. If you wanna use Quora or Reddit or guest posting or something else, try different methods until you see what works for you. And look for those high ROI situations where you're putting in not a ton of time, but getting massive results. The high ROI of SEO and Pinterest, that's why I use those methods and recommend them so much. But again, it's really just gonna depend on you and your personal preferences and your target audience and your niche and all those different kinds of things. And also just remember that you gotta be patient. No one's traffic is gonna explode overnight when they're just starting out. You gotta be consistent and keep putting your content out there even when you're not getting that many readers, because it does take a little while for blogs to pick up. So just make sure you're approaching it with that right strategy from the start. If you need help with that, I have a free profitable blog planner down in the description box below, so you can grab that. It's like a 13-page fillable PDF that's gonna help you get clear on your niche, your target audience, your brand, your unique selling point, all these things that are really gonna help your blog grow. So be sure to grab that before you leave. All right, so that was the first point of this video, and the recording says 23 minutes. It's probably gonna be shorter when I edit it, because I'll edit out a lot of the blank space and all the shit that I don't like. It seems like this is gonna end up being a pretty long video, maybe the longest one I've ever made. So let's keep it moving and talk about the monetization methods I used to make around 10K as a result of my blog last month. I made money last month from my blog from two different sources. The first one is digital products, including a masterclass that I have and an online course that I have. And then the second one is affiliate income. And affiliate income just means that I promote products that I use and enjoy on my blog with a special affiliate link, and then when someone clicks that link and purchases that product through my link, then I make a commission. Now I actually have a whole other video on affiliate income, so I will link to that above. I don't know which side it comes up on, but you guys know the deal. It's gonna pop up there somewhere. So go ahead and watch that if you want to learn more about how to make affiliate income. But I will tell you, my main focus is on creating and promoting products. I really like doing that because it's that situation where I can create something super helpful and useful for someone and also make a really good living doing it. And with digital products, those can be higher priced than something like merch, like t-shirts and mugs and shit like that. So I really like doing digital products. They are a little bit more demanding as far as if you create like communities and you have to do the customer service and all that kind of stuff. But for me, I found that it's just really fulfilling and it's definitely worth it. Now, creating and launching a product is something I could talk about for a really long time, but let's just go over a few of the key things you want to note about doing something like this. First of all, build the perfect audience for your product before you put it out in the world. Because if you just launch a product and you're not launching it to anybody, nobody knows about it, that means you're probably not going to get a whole lot of sales. But if you spend some time building up your audience first, not only is that going to be better because you will have people who are ready to purchase your product, if you built your audience up the right way, it's going to be good because once you know your audience and you've spent time building that relationship with them and getting to know their struggles and all these kinds of things, you can create the perfect, most helpful product for them based on all of that. So for example, I have a digital course called Killer Cold Emailing. It teaches freelance writers how to start their business without content mills and bidding sites. So it focuses heavily on things like cold emailing, but I also cover how to pick a profitable niche, how to set up a site that sells, really just those business building things that a lot of freelance writers who are starting out are really looking for help with. And because I built that product after getting to know my audience and their struggles, it ended up being super successful, not only for my students who are getting awesome results, but also for me because I get to make some semi-passive income from it. So with my digital products, I have done launches in the past, which is just a little period of time where you basically promote your product to your email list a whole lot and use a lot of other promotional methods. Again, another one of those topics I could go on about for like an hour, but I'm not gonna do that today. But I did not do any launches last month, and what I've done instead is I've set up sales funnels that automatically help me make sales. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I have a free email course called Make Money Freelance Writing, where people who enroll in that get like a lesson per day from me automatically via email. And then at the end of that, it automatically pitches my paid product. So if any of them are ready to take that paid course, they can go ahead and take that next step. And again, it's all on autopilot, so I'm not really actively having to do much. I might do another video on sales funnels to explain this a little more in depth, so definitely comment below and let me know if that's something you would be interested in. But one thing to remember here, especially if you do something like a free course to kind of give your audience helpful information while also getting sales for your paid products or services or whatever, just make sure you're providing them with super helpful and actionable information. Don't do this thing where you're just creating some piece of crap just to sell people, because not only is that unethical, but people can sense that. It's not going to be good for your audience and it's not going to be good for you. So make sure you're creating something super actionable and super valuable with just tons of relevant advice and information, because not only is that good for your audience, but it helps you build trust with your audience, and your free content is going to give people an idea of the value of your paid content. So if you want to sell, you gotta put that value out there up front first. Whether it's with your blog posts, your lead magnets, your sales funnels, whatever you're creating, make sure it is super useful and super helpful for your target readers. Alright, so on to the third point I want to talk about in this video, which is the tools and tech I've used to get to this point. First of all, you at least need a nice blog website with a custom domain. Don't do this thing where it's like the name of your blog.wordpress.com, because that's just like an instant credibility killer. Just go ahead and get the custom domain. Otherwise, people who land on your blog website, honestly, they're not going to take your blog seriously as a business. So even if you gotta save up for a little while, definitely get that custom domain, because it makes a big difference in how your readers are going to perceive you. So for my blog website, I use WordPress with the Divi WordPress theme, which I will link down in the description box below if you want to check that out. For email marketing and list building, I use ConvertKit and Lead Pages. So ConvertKit is the email marketing software, and then Lead Pages is a landing page builder, and I use both of those together. And then for product creation, I use Teachable, which is just an awesome course creation platform, but you can also use it for masterclasses and other types of things like virtual summits. I've seen people use it so many different ways, so you can really get creative with it, and it's super easy to use. Definitely something I would recommend. If you want to learn more about all these tools, I actually did a full video on these where I share my screen with you and walk you through kind of behind the scenes of how I use them. So I will link to that above so you can check that out when you are done watching this video. And I think that is all for today. Wow, this was a really long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to learn more about how to make money blogging. Also, before you leave, be sure to grab the Profitable Blog Planner that I have for you down in the description box. It is 13 pages of actionable advice and prompts to help you get really clear on your blog business strategy. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.